My name is Kenneth. I'm a pastor. I'm a missionary. I was born in South Korea. When I was 16, our family immigrated to the United States, and I became United States citizens. On November 3rd, 2012, I was arrested by North Korean authorities. I was charged to overthrowing the governments of North Korea because I brought 300 Christian tourists from 17 different nations over 23 different trips to North Korea to pray and worship. And this, over a 1 year period of time, I was able to bring in the people around the world to go and see the land and pray and worship and love the people as Christ loved us. And as we are doing this, and I realized that the people over there, they don't have a freedom of religions. They don't have a church to go to. They don't have Bible to read. They're living without the truth. So what I ask people to do is, could you simply go to North Korea to show that you care for the people there and just love them and then see and how that will affect you and affect the people in North Korea. I also trained one North Korean person, and she decided to go back to North Korea to start an orphanage in North Korea for the street children living in her town. And a North Korean security officer told me that if one person become a Christian and open an orphanage in North Korea, 10 children will become Christians. And then 100 will become one, and 10,000. And they said, when that happens, do you think they're going to be a threat to us or not? See, on the paper, North Korean constitution allow the freedom of the religion, but in reality, they only allow worshiping of their leader, Kim Il-sung. The North Korean regime view prayer and worship as a threat. They accuse me of being the worst American criminal ever caught since the Korean War, because not only I did the mission work, but I asked others to join in and training others to do the same. During the investigation, I was subject to physical and psychological abuse. They threatened to cut off my head and bury me somewhere so no one would find me. They also said they would charge me as a war criminal and shoot me in the street if I do not cooperate. Because United States and North Korea technically still at war. It ceasefires. This is why they said that you or try to overthrow the government. Therefore, we can just treat you as a war criminal. We can just take you out and end with this. So this kind of threat was made during that time. So I had no choice but to follow alone and sign the forced confessions that I had attempted to overthrow the government of North Korea by praying and worship. My trial lasted 1.5 hours. I was sentenced to 15 years hard labor, sent to the labor camp for the foreigners. I was the first American was sent to to North Korean prison. There were about 30 or more guards and staffs working at this camp, but I was the only prisoner there for the whole time. I became the first American prisoner, and ever since Korean War. I was forced to work 8 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock in the evening, 6 days a week. It was intense physical labor, like farming and carrying rock, digging, shoveling the coal, any type of manual hard work that I have to endure. I was in the field all day long with temperature as high as 38 degrees Celsius in summer, minus 17 in the winter. At the end of my day of backbreaking labor, I was forced to sit and watch their propaganda TV for re-education purpose. I had to sleep with the light on and got bitten by the mosquitoes and other insects all night long. My back and hand hurt severely. I woke up every hour. So I suffer terribly. My meal consisted of rice and soup and few vegetables 3 times a day. For the first few months, I also received some bread and snack, but it only lasts for the first couple of months. I lost 27 kilos in 3 months of a labor camp, was sent to the hospital. I was in and out of the hospital for about 3 times for malnutrition. Perhaps I was fortunate enough to be treated at the hospital for foreigners in Pyongyang. But then I was told that I would have to pay 600 euro per night before I go home. So, well, my first bill for 4 months stay at the hospital came out to 100,000 euros. But at the end, I did not have to pay the bill. Most difficult part of my imprisonment was the waiting, not knowing when I would be going home. Every single week for 1 year, one of the prosecutors came to see me and told me that no one remembers you. You will never go home. Your government has abandoned you. You've been forgotten. That was the most difficult part. They said you have to be here 15 years. Psychological torture was as enduring hard physical labor. But the 450 letters that I received from around the world encouraged me that I was not forgotten. And they say they're remembering me, they're standing with me and praying for me. Millions of people around the world pray for me. More than 177,000 people signed the petition to President Obama for my release. Many reach out to their representatives, Congress members, U.S. diplomats, many officials work tirelessly for my release. My ordeal lasted 735 days, 2 years and 5 days. I became the longest held American prisoner since the Korean War. I was finally released after President Obama sent a special envoy to North Korea. North Korea is a society of no rights, no right to worship, no right to speak, no right to free vote, no right to travel, no right to make basic choices. Every human being deserves to live like human being. Even today, hundreds of thousands of people are suffering in labor camp and political prison without hope. My freedom was taken away for 2 years, but 25 million people living in North Korea, they live without freedom for the last 70 years. Becoming a Christian in North Korea is a sure guarantee for torture, imprisonment, and execution. They were said that if you become a Christian, they will kill you, your children, your parents. 3 generations will be wiped out. Knowing that global community stand with 25 million North Koreans would give them some hope. The people of North Korea need to know that we are fighting for them. We must do everything possible to get this information into the country, that we must show that genuine concern for the North Korean and refugees who have fled the countries. I'm standing here because you care for me, stood with me. I'm fortunate that I came home alive. Sadly, Otto came home and passed away. No one deserves this type of violence or tortures. We should never let Otto's death go in vain. We need to stand with the people in North Korea. Let the people in North Korea know that we are remembering them. We are standing with them. We are praying for them. We're doing everything. We're not turning head in other way and say, you do not matter to us. Now I started an NGO to help North Korean refugees and people in North Korea, to remember and stand with them, to be a voice for the voiceless. I moved to Seoul, South Korea in 2016. I refused to be silenced by North Koreans, officials, and governments. And I will continue to work until 2 Korea are united again and the North Korea people are free. I started a prayer petition campaign for North Korea And I am asking global community to remember, stand with, and pray for them. Pray for NK.org. Pray number 4, NK.org is a website to sign the petition to God. Because I was rescued, I am helping others to escape and find safe haven now. I am helping them to integrate once they make it to South Korea by providing counseling, English trainings, and job placements. We must continue to pressure North Korean governments about human rights issues. Recently, President Obama invited North Korean defectors and refugees to the White House and to the State of Union's speech. This is something we must see seriously. This is act alone to show that their voices matter, their matters. I think I'm asking the global community, especially European Union's members, to do the same, to invite refugees to the parliaments and government functions. Let them know that people's right, human rights matter for the people in other countries as well. So invest North Korea time. Thank you.